Hey, hello, you're welcome back to Project Management Demystified. Right, so I think this is episode 9 of the interview series. And okay, we've covered tell me about yourself in the past 7, 8 episodes. So what I wanted to do in this episode is to try to answer the question, what do you know about the role? So some of the things I've said on the other parts of Tell Me About Yourself could be relevant in speaking about what do you know about the role. So one thing I want people to take away from these interview sessions is that interview is difficult. Interview is, you need to be intentional. You need to prepare for interviews. You need to prepare for interviews. And you need to be intentional. You need to spend a lot of time thinking about you in the role. That's something that would make you stand out. So if you ask the question, what do you know about the role? A lot of the times we're tempted, or the default is for us to show that we have read and crammed the job description. The people interviewing you know what's on the job description. And if you just read the job description and just pour that back to them, you won't stand out. You won't stand out. So what I suggest is that you, just as I said, in preparing for interviews, imagine yourself in the role, so that when you're speaking about what do you know about the role, you're not saying, I know I'll be using Jira. You will be saying things like, I was telling someone, or I tell a lot of people that, do you know that there's a significant difference? And I think I've mentioned on this page before, on a number of my videos. There's a major difference. There's a significant difference between saying I have done something and I can do something. I have shows that you have done it. I have is more powerful compared to I can. It means you haven't done it, but you think you can. So what do you know about the role? So using Jira to manage project tasks. Have you used Jira before? Can you go on Google or anywhere or YouTube to understand what Jira is? So Jira is not a complicated tool, but you can speak in a way that will show that you have used Jira to manage work previously. Plan and participate in meetings. So planning meetings is a challenging role. People might think it's easy. So to show that you know, or you see yourself in the role planning meetings, you can imagine what would have to go into planning meetings. So how many people need to be in the meeting? Do you reach out to them individually to get when they will be available, or do you just slap the invite in their calendar? Do you consider the other meetings that are happening at that time? How long do you want the meeting to be for? Do you just think it's from the top of your mind that, okay, let me just slap in a meeting for 2 hours or 3 hours? Or do you plan the agenda and think about, okay, if this takes 5 minutes, if this takes 10 minutes, if this takes 15 minutes, we should be able to complete this meeting in 30, 45 minutes. Do you think about people's time, or do you empathize with them? Because from my experience, if you put in a meeting for 2 hours, the meeting will last for 2 hours. If you put in a meeting for 45 minutes, the meeting will last for 45 minutes, and you will do everything you need to do in that you would have used a 2 hour meeting to do. So the meeting time fits into the agenda, or what you want the meeting to be used for. So my day to day, you won't be surprised. I have 10 minutes meeting, I have 15 minutes meeting. I don't use the default 30 minutes or the default 1 hour, because the meeting will last for 1 hour if you put it in for 1 hour. But if you put it in for 15 minutes, you will focus on what you want to do and just get it done within 15 minutes. So breaking it down to that level will show that you have thought about or you have done it previously on your previous project. So you have experience. You'll be separate from someone that's just reading the job description to them. So establish and maintain collaborative relationship. I'm reading these things out because we need to go into this level of detail when preparing for interview. You don't just gloss over job description. I think if there's one thing you will take away from all these 9 episodes that I've done, all these 9 videos I've done in on the interview side, read job description in detail and understand every line and try to imagine yourself in those roles doing those things before the interview, so that when you're speaking about them, you are speaking it from a point where you are convinced and you can convince them. Because if you are not convinced yourself, then it'll be difficult for you to convince any other person. I've rambled a lot there. I think I'll just leave you there for today, and I'll see you on the other side. Cheers. Bye-bye.